Hello everyone, this is the Super Wig Maker, and in this video I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn bulk hair into wefts. Now this is the second video of a series. I have made this hair blended in my previous video. This is human hair and synthetic hair blend. It has human hair in number about 22 or 24, and then the synthetic that it has is 60, 613 and number 16, not equally blended. The biggest color, the biggest part was the blend of the 60 and 613, and then just a little bit of the other two. The reason that you want to make your own wefts are many, actually. The first reason is that, for example, in this case, I have a very custom blend. It's both synthetic and human, that is not very easy to find, and it's also very custom to the color that you want to have. It's not just a bleach blonde or an ash blonde. This is just a very a color that has a specific identity. This is one of the reasons. Another reason is that, for example, if you have this hair, which is the 60 and 613, this is 24 inches and it's fairly long. If you want to use this for a short wig, you're gonna have to cut all this hair off. There are two things that can happen. You either discard this, or you can make this back to a shorter weft and use it in the same unit. Or you can initially cut the hair over here like I did with this bundle, and then make a weft by folding this in half. So you're gonna end up having this amount of length in your new weft, and of course you're not discarding anything. This is another good reason. One of the best reasons though to make your custom wefts is, I'm not gonna talk about this in this video of course, but I do plan to make more videos. When I take this wefted hair, which seems to have a lot of fillers, and then I separate it according to length, so it ends up being more double drawn, I end up having this. Now this hair is very short, so I don't think you can, I mean, you can ventilate that of course, but if you ventilate hair, you have to fold it, so you realize it's gonna be so short. And this is a very short unit. If you turn it into weft, you can actually lose that much, so this is kind of longer. And also, it's good to use, you can ventilate that hair, but the thing is that you might not want to ventilate the whole unit. You might want to have tracks in the back. So how do you turn this into tracks? You need to have your own track weft making method in order to do that. And trust me, making handmade wefts by the 3 threads where you put the hair in, I know how to do it with my hands, handmade wefts, this is how they're called. It's so time consuming. If you make them bulky and thick, they're worth the time, but if you want to make them thin, you are faster, at least I am faster ventilating the hair instead of wefting it, so what's the point? If you can ventilate the hair faster than wefting it, then you better ventilate it, because ventilated units are much better than wefted units. So there are so many reasons to do that. Whatever you want to do, if you can make your own things, it's always a better option to do that. So in my case, I have this synthetic and human hair blend that I plan to turn into a small piece afterwards. And in the previous video, I didn't make all that much. I did a little bit more because I was sure that I would run out of it. And also I add a little bit more human hair because I forgot that this is not going to be the final color, because this is going to be folded like that. The human hair starts from here and all the way down. This part is pretty much only synthetic, so these two are going to get connected together, and you realize that this color is going to get slightly lighter because this part is going to be together one like this. So I added a little bit more human hair in there. So the thing that you're going to need before doing anything, you need to have all the materials. Of course, you need the hair bulk. In this case, I know that this is human hair also, so the human hair and up to here. So I'm not going to stitch it here because all the human hair are going to fall apart. I'm going to stitch it right over here and fold it in half. You're going to need a few paper strips. They can be anything from 1 centimeter wide to 1.5. It doesn't have to be too wide, to be honest, but don't make it too little thing. We want this to be to approximately 1 to 1.5 centimeter, or like half an inch, and the length of it has to be bigger than the tape. This is much bigger of course, but that length would do. And of course, we need a tape. I have tried this with this tape, but for a strange reason, this doesn't seem to glue very well on hair. I mean, it doesn't even glue very well on my skin as well, so I think it's better off for very flat and clean surfaces and not so much for anything other than that. This tape does a better job. I mean, see, even in my hand that is oily, it glues much better. You could use something that thick, but I think that it's not the best option because the flatter it is, the better it's going to keep the hair, because we're going to use the tape to hold the hair first while we're stitching it. Now in professional wefting machines, they just have a sewing machine that stitches, and then they just feed bulk hair like that. They don't put any backing or anything else, and then it makes a couple of stitches, then it takes it automatically, folds it, makes more stitches, and then folds it one more time and makes the final stitch, so it's double folded. In my case, I don't think I can do the double fold for now. I need a special little tool that I need to create by myself. Maybe I do it in the future, but now I'm gonna make single fold wefts. They're gonna be single folded and stitched. That means that they're going to shed so badly. Even if you do two folds, like one fold and then another fold, they will still shed. So all the factories put some sort of weft sealer somehow. Now there are two methods, and I'm going to use both of them in this demonstration. This is fabric glue in a ribbon. This is like a plastic material that melts very easily with heat. So what happens is that when you make fabrics, you put this between the fabrics, and then you just iron it, and then it's good to be stay there. I mean, you can do it like that, iron it first like that, so it glues in place, and then put the other fabric and iron it again, so they both get stuck together. I plan to use this as a ribbon to stitch the hair up here, and then when I'm gonna fold it, I'm gonna melt it so it's gonna engulf the hair inside the glue. And of course, the best method that worked very well for me is nail polish, and this is already thinned clear nail polish, which means that it was more concentrated and more not so liquid. I don't remember the word right now. It was dense, but I put a little bit of nail polish remover, so it just got thinner right now, and I don't have too much left. Of course, I need to get some more of that. And of course, you are going to need your sewing machine. This is a very small sewing machine that I got from eBay. I got it for $60 and $10 for shipping. So amazing. I'm gonna make a review on that when I make more things. It can take 2 needles, so that's why it has 2 of these little things over here. It has the tension holder. It has normal stitch, little zigzag, more zigzag. It has, am I on frame? I am not on frame. It has long stitch, it has normal stitch, small stitch, and back stitching. Lighting, it has different speed settings. It can sew it by itself. It's very good. It actually has bobbins and everything. So it's a very good, and it also has 2 threads, one on top and one at the bottom. That means that it does a lock stitch, not just a chain stitch. The lock stitch is the best. If it loses one point, the whole thing will not unravel. So this way it's very good. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. So the first thing we need to do is to take some of this tape. Let me just get a little bit of that. No, actually I don't need that. I'm going to cut a small piece first, and I'm gonna keep it somewhere temporarily. Where is the end? There it is. I'm gonna cut another small one and keep it somewhere else. I wanted to say that you're not gonna need more than one person to do that, but having 2 hands would be very handy. 2 more hands, sorry, would be very, very handy. Okay, so I'm going to let this set down. And then I'm going to take, where is the other end? Exactly the same. I'm gonna place it about 1.5 centimeters away, or even 2 centimeters better. And I'm going to take, nothing wants to work together today. Put it over here, and I'm gonna glue these two tapes down. Maybe I kind of lost a little bit too much, but it's gonna be okay. And then I'm gonna cut a little more. Come on, scissors doesn't want to cut. And then I'm gonna take the second tape that I kept over there and keep it down. You might not be able to see right now, but I have two tapes and there is a gap of about 2 centimeters in between. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bulk hair. I'm gonna see what side is the top. Yeah, I found it. And I'm gonna take a small amount of hair. I don't want to work all together, all the hair at the same time. So I'm gonna keep the rest over there. And I'm gonna decide exactly where is gonna be the middle. I just found it. And what I'm gonna do is I don't want the hair to get glued. That's why I'm not on frame. This is going to be the middle. The middle part is gonna fall exactly in between this little gap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the hair right over here. I'm leaving a little bit of sticky space between these two, and I'm gonna show you in a moment why. And put the hair over here. Now this is very dense. I don't want the wefting to be so dense, because I plan to put the hair into a piece later, a hair piece. So I really want the wefts to be kind of thin enough. Where is another brush? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the hair and spread it and open it. Do the same over here. Just don't pull too much because you might start losing hair. This desk is not the best work place for this job, but it does the job. So here it is. Now press the hair quite okay and nice and firmly. And you should know that if you feel that this is a little bit too thin, know that this is actually going to get doubled because we're going to fold it like that. So don't worry, it's not going to be that thin. I mean, I wish I could make it thinner, but I think it's thin enough like that. So let me just brush out and all these things. And as I said, don't overbrush it. Just open up the strands, that's it. And then I'm going to take a little bit more hair. I'm going to find, yeah, this is the side. This is the middle, so I'm putting the hair right where I was left before. And I will start opening it and make the connection kind of seamless. And I generally want all the hair to kind of get sticky into the tape. So there you are. I'm gonna brush this out. This is why I told you that you need to have a rather flat tape, like really big one, because we want it to be able to hold the hair better. I'm gonna take a little more. I'm taking enough to be able to make what I want. And placing a little bit. This is the middle. The middle should go here. Spread it open. Brush out any tangles. Take more hair. good to stay here. So you might lose a couple of strands here, but it's okay. The next thing you want to do is take one of these little pieces and put it right over here. And then take another piece and put it right over here. Okay. And now I'm gonna take equal amount of this tape and try to put it exactly above the first tape. And cut off the excess. And then try to do exactly the same on the other side. It's kind of difficult now because the tape is transparent and you can't very easily see what you're doing, but all right. And now you want to press this kind of firmly in order to be able to glue as better as you can the hair. The hair cannot glue too much on this tape, so don't worry, it's not going to leave any residue or anything else. The hair was already taped in the lower tape, and now the top tape just conceals it better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I was not on frame very well. Oh well. I'm going to make more of these, and then I'm going to come back to you and show you exactly how I do the rest of the process. So I'm back, and I have made 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And a wise thing to do when you want to make something in general is you want to make as many as you can of this, specifically when you're making wefts, and then proceed in stitching it, because this way you're actually saving time. You're doing one job, you finish that, and then you're proceeding to the next one. So I'm gonna put this a little bit aside over here. It's gonna be ready for use. And now I'm gonna bring in the sewing machine. I have a creamy beige color thread, and inside the bobbin as well. And I think I'm gonna have to move the camera here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I have my tape here with the hair. I have the sewing machine, and I'm gonna use this ribbon that I told you that is fabric glue. And I actually, wait a moment, I cut it in half because it was too wide and I didn't need it so wide. And I have already made a couple of the wefts just to experiment. So what I have to do now is make sure that this is pulled a little bit. I'm gonna place the hair over here, and I'm gonna take first one ribbon only, because working with both of them is not very easy. And I'm going to place this ribbon. This is very fragile. I didn't know that this ribbon would be so easy to rip, but it is. So it gets caught in the hair and then it's difficult for you to manage. So I'm putting it here in the middle and close the thing. I'm gonna do a couple of stitches using this pedal. Okay, and now I'm gonna have the speed on because I don't want this to be too slow. I'm working with a straight line. So now I'm gonna cut off the excess of that ribbon because I don't think I need more of that. I'm going to pull a little bit of the thread. And I'm going to do the same thing again. What the hell is... Let me just remove this part because it actually glues down on the sewing machine and it interferes. So I'm going to position this again over here, and I'm going to take the second ribbon. It's not necessary to put two pieces, but I really want to make sure that I have enough for when I melt it to soak the hair. So I'm placing it over the previous ribbon. I'm closing this down, and I will make another stitch exactly on top of the previous one, just like that. So now that I have this in the inside, the ribbon, I'm gonna fold this in half like that, and then I'm gonna press it a little bit with the heat so it doesn't want to unravel, you know, so it stays like that easier. And it's gonna be so much easier for me to stitch it now like that. So you can see now that it stays like that much easier. I have to just change the thread because I ran out of it. And now I'm gonna put this down here, and I'm gonna have the widest zigzag motion because I want to pinch one time inside and then one outside, one in, one out, so it's gonna kind of grab the whole thing and keep it together. So So now, as you can see, it looks so good. The base is just fine. And the last thing that is left to do before I remove the tape is to literally use as much heat as I can to melt the glue that is inside the stitchings. To inspect to see that it melts nicely and correctly. I don't want to have any weak points. And the last thing that I usually want to do is put tint nail polish. Just a little bit. Am I on frame? I'm on frame. I have low battery. And then I just put a little bit in the stitchings in order to avoid having shedding or anything else. And this is thin polish, nail polish, so you realize that it's gonna seep into the fibers very nicely, but it's not going to make it too crusty or too sticky or anything. It's gonna be just easy for you to work with this weft, and you're gonna have zero shedding. So now that I have stitched everything and I put the nail polish in the base, and you can see it's still malleable, it's not too cracky or anything, what is left to do is to remove the tape. It should be removed quite easily because it cannot stick very well to hair. Discard this. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Discard this, and now I have the inner ones to remove. You see, and they should come off easily as well. And here we are. This is the weft. You can see how nice it turned. You shouldn't have any shedding at all, and right now I don't. Well, I had a little bit, but you can see where you have the shedding, and reapply a little bit of the nail polish if you feel the need to. But overall, I'm very satisfied. Look how beautiful that looks. So the last one that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to do this without the ribbon between the, the fabric ribbon that glues down everything. And I just want to do it without that, just to see if you can make a good enough weft without using anything additionally. But of course I will have to use this because it will shed and without doing that. So let me just, I'm gonna make a couple of stitches here. Okay, and now I'm gonna have it on speed. I think it looks good. Good enough. Let's cut this little thing off. And now I have to do exactly the same with the straightening tool to make a fold. So now that I have made the fold, I'm ready to do the final stitching in the middle. And I'm doing a big zigzag right now just to make sure that I'm going to grab all the hair that I need. Wow, it actually turned very beautiful. It is looking so nice. Look at that. Very beautiful. But as I said, I have to put inevitably this, because if I don't put that, it has absolutely no glue in there and it will eventually start shedding. So let me just put more of this and then I'm gonna see how it looks without the ribbon in the middle. So I'm done with it. I just put the nail polish. I skipped this part, of course. And now I'm gonna remove the tape and I'm gonna see how much, if I have any shedding at all. Pretty much no hair on the tape, so that's a good sign. Let me remove the other one as well. Not much hair here either. And I'm gonna remove the inner part ones now. So let me just check how that came out. I don't see any shading, to be honest with you. So that seems pretty okay. Yeah, I can say that this is just good. Anyway, look how nice and thin it is. Look at the base. So beautiful. If by any chance I see that there is a spot that sheds hair, let's see. Yeah, this, for example, here seems to have a little bit of shedding going on. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit more nail polish. And while it seeps into the strands, it's going to seal the whole piece together. It's quite fine and okay, but I think it's better off to have the ribbon in the middle. It makes a little bit more sturdy foundation, but I'm satisfied with that. I'm okay with it. It looks fine and doesn't shed any hair anymore. So I'm back with the result. I have done 4 of them and I'm having a little bit of a contrast. Now I have to be honest with you, this is the first one that I did and it doesn't look so good. I was actually trying to imitate the flat surface of the traditional factory made pieces, and I can't say that I did the best job. It doesn't shed, not a single strand, of course. It has the ribbon inside. But the next 2 that they have the ribbon, and I didn't try to imitate anything. You can see how nice they look. Look at the base. So beautiful, and it doesn't shed at all. It doesn't. This one as well. This one is a little bit more flat. I mean, it has a little bit more body, but I'm pretty satisfied with that as well. I think this one looks a little better. And the last one is the one that I didn't use the ribbon. You can see that it's a little bit like kind of offset and the base is a little thinner. And I used a little bit more nail polish here in order to be able to not shed hair. I have to be honest with you, once everything is set, it doesn't shed, sorry, once the glue is done and dry, the nail polish, it doesn't seem to fray. I don't see any strands. So, in my opinion, I think it's better to have the ribbon in the middle. It makes a much better and sturdy foundation. Not that this didn't work, it worked very nicely, but I feel that with the ribbon it's just more secure. So do these look good to you? They actually look good to me, so that's what it matters. Very nice. I'm gonna use them to make something now. And it didn't take me too long, to be honest. It was just a rather fast thing to do, a fast process in general. I was actually trying to be on frame, on focus, so it took me a little longer, than intended because I had to explain this on the video. But it's not very time consuming, and it makes very good outcome. So I really am going to keep using this method to make my own wefts whenever I need to. And of course I'm gonna use the ribbon, and that's it. So thanks for watching. Ask me anything you want, and stay tuned for more videos. And I'm actually gonna make one more video on when I use this hair on a piece that I want to make, and I'm gonna use probably my sewing machine, and I'm probably gonna make a video about the review on this sewing machine, just to tell you, and I'm gonna give you links and everything, just to so you know exactly where to buy this and how to work with it and stuff. So stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching.